Hi everyone, it's Jules and Mark here from Crossover Technologies. Time for the latest golf retail numbers for August, where we give you some of the detail on how the month performed. Firstly, I'm happy to say that it's not looking bad at all. After a dip in July, August actually saw a steadying of the ship, making it another month this year that bucked the usual trend. Mark?
Yeah, revenue actually was pretty much the same as 2017. Where we actually saw the biggest growth was in number of units sold in some of the key categories. So, for example, men's and ladies' clothing, outerwear, wedges and gloves as well. So that's fantastic news.
Yeah, it is. Now you might say, as a golf retailer, why do I care? Why does this matter to me? Who cares what the rest of the market does? And why do I need to know what happened last month? Well, actually, for retailers, it is important to know, and it's all about comparing and preparing. So it's a great start to be checking against your own numbers. For example, did you sell more product in orders this year compared to last year?
But what's even more important is that you know where you sit in the marketplace. So you have an overall benchmark to aim for. Now, I always use this specific example. How much margin did you make in gloves this year? So maybe it was 25%, maybe it was 30%, maybe it's 35%. Whatever the number, if you're comparing yourself to yourself, you may think, well, 35% is fantastic because I've never got that high before. But what if I were to say to you, well, actually, a lot of our customers are making 55%. How would you feel about that 35% then? Probably not as good, I imagine.
So by knowing the market, we can compare and then understand where we're strong or where we might need improving. That should then help us to budget for the future so that next August we'll be better prepared. So now we know that overall August was a pretty good month. Let's break that down a bit more.
Okay, so as we know, sales revenue was pretty much static, same month year on year. It was about 0.2% up year to date. Okay, so we're still clinging on there as a little bit up year on year, but not a great deal. In terms of the key growth within August, as I said, it's clothing, it's wedges and it's gloves. That's where we're seeing the most of the growth. But one thing to mention, as we did many months, we've mentioned this, a big differential between on-course and off-course. So on-course actually performed better than off-course again, up by 2.5% year on year, whereas actually off-course were down 4.4%, so comparing August this year to August last year. So that's revenue side of things, fairly static there. In terms of number of units, so again, we look at the key categories within this, and there was some strong growth, and this is, as I said, the big differential between August and July. So clothing performed well as a whole, so with both men's and ladies, we're seeing growth in shirts, in tops, in bottoms, so all throughout the whole category there. We even saw growth in outerwear, which we haven't seen at all this year so far, so it's really struggled obviously with the hot weather, has made a big difference. So we saw 10% growth in gloves and over 4% growth in wedges as well, so that's all positive. So if we have a look at why those reasons there, I'm guessing it's coming down to the weather again. So the Met Office reported a pretty average month, but it was split into two halves, so it was actually quite warm and dry at the start of August as a general summary. But that then descended into wetter weather, although it was still warm. So I think that's probably a pretty big reason as to why clothing has performed so well. I think people obviously had a lot of t-shirts and shorts, but then at the end of the month maybe decided to invest in some outerwear to cover the rain, etc.
That's great, thanks Mark. So now you have the market comparisons. Use your EPOS system to go and find out how you did in comparison, and we'll see you next month.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.